What's up, guys? Welcome back to Esk8Exchange, the podcast where we talk about electric skateboards, MBoards, board bumpers, Geckoderm, the convention, whatever else you want to talk about. Anything electric skateboard related, this is the show for that. So if you're new, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. We do this show every week. This is episode who knows, 31 or 2 or 322. Something.
It's just our hour to get it all out, just let it out.
Just
all those
vent.
things you just want to talk about.
Yep.
But we're busy working. So now we just talk about it.
Yeah. And the intro, I swear, gets longer every time because originally it was like, this is the show where we talk about MBoards and board bumpers. Then we added Geckoderm. Then we added the convention. And now it's like, oh, God. Well, this is like the longest.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah. We just talk about everything here.
And now James is here.
Now James is here.
Hi.
James has been on for a couple episodes.
It's been fun. I
Thank
love
you
it.
for coming back again.
I hope to be asked back every single time.
I mean, I think you're the most entertaining person in the office. So
I try to have fun and come here and have a good time. I really like coming here. It's a good time.
Yeah.
It was fun to get to hop on live this morning.
Okay. Do you have any e-skate related tattoos?
Ooh, that is a good question. I technically do not.
Okay.
Wow.
I think we have to change that.
I
you got to add something there.
I did throw a deal out to you earlier.
did.
We're not going to talk about that right now.
There was a proposition made.
There was a prop. I made a prop.
Get an MBoards tattoo.
I did. And
wouldn't that be something?
that would be my first.
You know what?
Tattoo.
I think I should get an MBoards tattoo. I think
would
it's been
be-
such a big portion of my life at this point. No matter what happens to MBoards in whoever knows 50 years from now, I think it'd be a story to say.
Would you let me tattoo you?
Do you have a tattoo gun?
I have about 22
tattoo
tattoos.
gun? I mean, I don't
have
know that.
I have 15 machines. I've got a couple different pedals. I've got needles. I've got everything.
it all.
Only
Maybe.
thing I don't have is ink. And
Got it.
From my
And the
past life,
license.
when the great reset was happening, I spent a couple years and that was my trade, actually.
Okay.
Was a tattoo artist, bro.
Got it.
And that was a lot of fun.
Have you
Learned
done
a lot
any of your own tattoos?
Yes, I did, actually. Almost all these was day one of me learning. I learned on myself, started
hand.
on my hand,
Okay.
worked up to my elbow, did my foot, did did a little bit of my right shin and all my right foot, did some stuff on, did that.
Taking his clothes off.
Yeah, we got and then some stuff on my chest, upside down kind of. So, and then after that, I was like, maybe I should learn how to draw better, and then I can tattoo better. And so
Okay.
then I started drawing and actually kind of good at it, dude.
That's cool.
But all
your
this
tattoos
other
are cool.
stuff is from basically 3 other dudes.
Got it.
So
That's cool.
I found a sketchbook in one of our old rooms that Mike kept the year that he started MBoards.
Yeah.
So there's some original logo sketches and
Ooh.
product sketches in there.
Yeah.
I
That
would.
might be cool.
I think we should scan some of those and get them printed and hung on the walls. That'd be pretty cool.
Jacob, if you got an Esk8 tattoo, what would it be?
I was going to pose that question. What would my
The double B? Would you get a?
I think I'd get the M logo. I think that's what I would get.
If I did the
because-
double
On your
B, there's
neck.
only one place that I would do it.
Tramp stamp.
No,
On your nuts.
we're not going to talk about that.
The double B.
Yeah, one on both side. Yeah.
Put a
God.
gecko right down the
Yeah.
middle.
Oh God.
So funny story.
Okay.
I had to actually tattoo a guy's.
No.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, the package. I tattooed Gucci symbols down there. He had a Gucci bag.
Okay, so anyways,
Okay. That sounds
To the
fun.
topic.
moving on.
You know what a cool tattoo would be though? Like almost like a cheat sheet or
Okay.
something, like on your forearm or
Right.
something with voltages or certain numbers that people have to refer to a lot while
Okay.
building. That would be kind of
That
cool.
could be a cool Esk8
That'd be a
tattoo.
kind of cool Esk8
Be an
tattoo.
intense. Yeah, wow. That's a commitment there.
Yeah.
Gotta be
You know
about
who?
that life.
Functional tattoos are really cool. Adam Savage, he's got this. He's the dude from Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got a ruler and it's more than just a ruler, but it's like a measuring. It's got a whole bunch of units of measure on his arm, so he can physically use his arm to measure things.
Oh, hey.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll show you what 6 inches really is.
So I think that's kind of cool. Anyways, we're kind of off topic here. We've got a few things to talk about today. For sure. But I kind of like talking stuff like this because it's not the usual e-skate. I don't know.
Sometimes taking a left is cool.
Yeah.
As long as you make that right
As long
back
as-
in.
as long as you can kinda curve it back in there,
get
we're
back
good.
in there. All right, cool.
Yeah. So this morning we went on our Thursday morning rides like we usually do.
So nice outside.
And it went
for
well.
it is.
Nothing really to report. So I think we'll just
No,
it happened, but it was
a
good.
good time.
And not that every ride I'm like, oh, good, the boards didn't break. or oh good, the board's made it. Like not that I'm surprised, but like it's always a good feeling. Like okay, this is a working prototype. Really haven't had any major issues.
How did you like the VX4? Because I got to use the VX4 for the Vegas strip group ride.
Yep.
And I had the one little complication for it, and then otherwise the remote was all right, but like we talked about was the play, and then I'm excited to hear.
Yeah.
What you
So
think about
you had one issue. You had one disconnect, but the disconnect was more than just a disconnect.
Yes, it was my fault.
Was it your fault?
Well, I believe because the remote lost connection, and I had it in this hand,
Okay.
and I was in the process of changing and like trying to do something with my gloves, and I didn't really notice that I was doing that until Jacob asked me. He's like, "Hey, did you do this or put it in your armpit?" And then I was thinking about it like during the ride. I was like, "Oh, that could have been it."
Yeah.
But I mean, luckily, it's not like when it disconnected, I didn't get jolted forward. The motors didn't just shut off or nothing, bro. The remote vibrated, and I was coasting.
But then you had to power cycle the remote though, right?
Yeah, we had to power cycle.
Okay, so that's the issue. That's a scary thing because any disconnect I've ever had, it disconnects for 1-2 seconds, but then if I move the remote closer to my board or whatever, it'll reconnect right away and I'm good.
Yeah.
If I got a power cycle, I'm already crashed.
Yeah.
So it's too late.
If you
for
were
that.
coming down a hill or having to hit
I'm
the
already done
brakes,
for.
like,
Yeah. So
that
that's
board's
a problem. Now, what the interesting thing with the VX4 is though, is if this starts to become a problem. Well, before I get into that, I had no issues today.
Okay.
I had no disconnects,
So you
no
liked
nothing.
it?
I liked it.
Okay.
Here's what I'll say: the screen is super bright.
Oh, it's
I
nice.
think Jacob was mentioning he was having trouble seeing the VX2 screen.
Yes.
Yeah,
today
I couldn't
in the
see
sun.
the VX2 screen.
I could
this
see
morning.
mine clear as day.
Yeah.
So that's great. What I will say though is that trigger like travel or the thumb wheel travel.
Yeah. Oh, we might have
Hold on,
company.
We'll pause. Man,
Poor guy.
It's all right, Milo. What, are we not supposed to talk about dicks and nuts on the
Oh no, it's fine.
No, you're fine.
for that long, right? You get 1 minute. Get it out of your system.
I think one mention is fine.
And then that's
All
it.
right.
Okay, back on subject. Okay, how was my product placement, Maddie?
I can see.
Can you see the CBD roll on?
I can't see that at all. I can't see your hand right now. I can see the edge, like all the end of the frame is the edge.
Okay.
Of the can.
Edge of the can. Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah.
lay down.
I can't see anything that's in front of your mic.
Man, my whole train of thought is all fucked up now.
VX4s,
Let me bring it back.
visibility. How about now, Maddie?
Yeah, because it's on your phone.
Yeah. So that's fine, right? You can see it? Okay.
Okay. So to edit this, you may have to cut to like a listening shot of them,
Yeah.
and then whatever.
Hold on, let me listen.
So before I get into that, though, I
Okay.
want to talk about like my experience with the VX4.
Okay.
So what I will say is the screen is very bright. I know, Jacob, you were saying that on the VX2 you were having trouble seeing like the screen in the sunlight.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
So for me, I had no issue with that. I could see it clear as day. Like the OLED's very bright, so that's great.
Colorful, too.
Colorful, yep, looks good. The responsiveness of
Did you like the blue? I switched to blue.
the blue's nice.
Yeah.
So what I told them is I think they need to add a white color. They got
Okay.
blue, they got green, and they got like red and orange.
Okay.
Reddish orange, yeah.
Reddish orange. I want a white.
Yeah.
My board, our new board, it's none of those colors match like our branding.
Okay.
So I just want a clean white and like gray or something.
Yeah.
Black and white, just all monochrome or something. So one, I think it's the visibility would be very good, and two, then it matches our actual branding.
Yeah.
But anyways,
And if they can make it those colors, then they
Yeah.
can make it.
Well, I mean, what is the color of your branding? Just really kind of black?
I mean, we don't have. So I have a little bit of color.
Okay.
So the wall color behind you, that's one of our like website. That's like our
Okay.
branding colors. We don't incorporate that a lot into a product, but as far as like graphic design and like our website stuff, also this wall over here and the tan wall over there,
Okay.
and then also like this off black would be
Yeah.
our four colors
Your-
that we
your
use for our
color
website.
scheme.
So, but anyways, I did mention them that they need to add more colors. A white option would be cool. A all black screen with white text would be really cool.
Yeah.
And then I'd also like to see a couple more colors like purple, maybe like a really big yellow, and then like,
Maybe like a magenta.
So yeah, just because a lot of these guys have these very colorful boards, it'd be
Yeah.
nice if you could actually cycle through. Yeah, and actually, it would be really cool. I don't see why they couldn't do this. Is like the menu system in the VX4 is very extensive. If they could just have a color menu, and it has like a 255 point color wheel that you can use the actual scroll wheel to select a different shade of color would be very cool, and I think that'd be very doable. Okay, but one thing I don't really like about the VX4 is the thumb wheel at throw or the travel isn't very much like
It's real soft.
it's short. Yeah,
is what
so
I noticed. So
the VX2 has got a pretty long wheel, and the VX4 is not that way. And I know it's a more compact remote, and the wheel has to be smaller because the remote's smaller, and I get that, but that's just something I don't necessarily love. Now, what I hope they do is they hope they take all the new tech in the VX4, and they smush it into the VX2 body.
That'd be cool.
And do like a VX2.5 because they can't call it VX3 or whatever. So I don't know what they'd call it.
I can't think. Oh yeah, I guess they already have VX.
And they had a VX2 and they had a VX2 Pro. So I don't know where you go from here, a Pro Plus or something. I don't know what they would call it. But I think that would sell very well too because there's a lot of extra room on that remote for a larger screen as well. So I think that would do well. And I think that would be the remote I'd go for if they could make that a reality. What I'd like to do is potentially take all the guts out of the VX4 and redesign a different remote shape and move that screen onto the front.
Okay.
Because like Jacob's left-handed, you can't see that
it
screen.
doesn't really do meaning. I mean,
it's so
I
and
can
that,
sort of. You just have to manipulate it all weird.
and there's no way we're going to be stocking a left and right-handed version. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, it's like how
They
many
don't have it,
left-handed
do they?
They don't have it,
No, there really is only like one or two kind of left-handed remotes.
Yeah.
And it's usually like the styles, like the Vol styles or the VX. Two.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's got to have the screen on the front, so then it's symmetrical on either side. But,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, I had no cutouts whatsoever. I had no issues at all. So that was cool.
Yeah.
But here's what I will say: I can pretty much get any remote so far to disconnect on command by just taking my remote and crossing my arms and sticking it right up in my armpit.
Huh. And
Every single remote I've tested will disconnect,
and is that
including the
standing-
puck.
Is that standing on the board?
Standing on the board,
Huh.
riding.
the remote
in motion.
Can smell. If
Take the motion. Yeah, it smells my armpit and goes and dies.
little bit of BO.
Yeah. No, but like I think so. It's just we're totally encapsulating it in our body, pretty much shoving it.
It shuts all the signal off.
Yep. It just the signal can't escape your arms, and then it disconnects.
Yeah.
And I can do that with every single remote.
So in every single remote that you've done that with at all, has there been like a sudden stop in the motors?
No. So what? So a lot of times when you have a disconnect, people will go, "Oh my gosh, my board locked up on me and it threw me off." But in reality, what you're feeling is the sudden, like your acceleration suddenly stopping.
Yes.
And your body lurches forward, and it
losing your
feels
inertia.
almost like a brake. But in reality, you're just snapping your fingers and
then-
stopping that acceleration.
Yeah, and then if you're leaning forward when that happens,
Yep.
you lose all your inertia, and so then you come flying off, and of course you don't want to blame it on yourself for leaning too far forward. So
I've
Right.
had weird experiences disconnecting on some of the lower
Yeah.
budget boards
Yeah.
where it'll disconnect and the throttle is actually still accelerating. It's such a
Ooh.
lag.
there's a
that
ghost.
I'm on the throttle, the board disconnects. I know I'm disconnected because nothing's happening anymore, and the board is actually still accelerating
Yeah.
or maintaining speed, which that can be,
Yeah, that's
that's
technically
a Those
ones
that's
you jump.
technically ghosting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
the
not
really
fun.
cheap Amazon boards are
Yeah.
they're mostly junk.
Speaking of cheap boards,
Dude, okay.
can we talk
Have
about
we told this story?
it? I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
we've got this really weird deal
Yeah.
where this company sends us these random ass Amazon
Yep.
boards.
The weirdest looking boards.
They're all returns.
Yes.
And here's why they get returned. You guys will love this. They get returned for a loose motor,
Yeah.
right? So the 4 motor screws,
Uh-huh.
we all know it. They all get loose over time.
Yep.
You just got to take an Allen key, tighten them back
Tighten
up.
them up.
People on Amazon don't know that or just don't want to deal with it, and they expect it to not happen, and they go, "Oh, this board sucks." Which the board sucking or not, sure, but that's not why it sucks. All the boards do this. So they'll just return the whole thing. It's a perfectly working board.
Yep.
And we'll get it for next to nothing, and Jacob will take it in the back for like 10 minutes and
I
go,
start giggling. I'm like,
Yeah.
this
Like,
board's totally fine.
this board's brand new and
Yep.
it's been ridden 10 miles and it's
Yeah.
got a loose motor, which again, it shouldn't right out of the box, your motor should not get loose 10 miles in. But
Yes,
it happens, and not a
does.
big deal.
It happens.
So we'll tighten the screws. We'll sell them.
Yeah, good
And
to
I'm
go.
like,
Huh.
we'll just sell them on Facebook here locally. We don't sell them online or anything.
Yeah, but like, so the one today, you got a big box.
Dude, we got a big ass box
and
today.
we thought it was a scooter.
We thought it might be a
Right,
scooter.
that was a scooter.
Out comes this gigantic mountain board.
Yep.
We're like,
Straps and everything.
sweet. Yeah, we never know what we're gonna get either.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
It's like
We
a
never
mystery-
know what we're gonna get.
mystery box.
And it was so far what I can tell was a perfectly working board
Yeah.
that's
That thing's
barely ever
Yeah.
seen the pavement.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's weird.
Big old tires. That thing's ready to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So we get to ride all these bizarre, I call them shitty boards because they're not. It's not like we're getting like a Meepo showing up here or
Yeah.
anything or any Backfire or any like legitimate brand at this point.
The excitement is simply the novelty of them.
Yeah.
Of,
Yeah.
like
Just
looking at it, being like,
ooh.
haha, look at
Ooh,
that.
Look at that thing.
Like
Yeah.
these little penny boards. We don't have it in here,
Oh,
but
no.
these like little 16-inch penny boards
Yep.
on 65 millimeter wheels, single hub motor. We can
Yep.
ride it around the shop at 2 miles an hour,
And just have
but
a
you
bu-
have to start on the brake on
Yep.
one side of the warehouse to be able
Yep.
to stop by the time you get.
And
to
then
the
same
other.
thing with the acceleration
Right.
too.
So
It's
just little
fun.
things like that, man. They're so fun to just play on.
So that's fun. Oh, but I kind of got off topic, but though.
Oh.
Back to the VX4.
Okay.
If we are experiencing consistent cutouts, one, I have to verify that it just doesn't need another software update. My
Okay.
guess is they need one more update. Now,
Okay.
since the update, it's been great
Yeah.
for me. I bet you they could probably stand and go one more update on that to
Mm-hmm.
get it better. But if we're still experiencing like issues because of carbon fiber issues,
Okay.
there is a antenna port on the receiver that we can run an external antenna. My thought
Shoot it on
is
the back.
shoot it parallel with the motor phase wires
Okay.
and weave it straight into the braided wire
Okay.
and have it physically outside of the board.
Okay. In
But-
between in between the motors and the board.
Yes. Hanging out right there in that braided
Yeah,
area.
because that braided wire shouldn't mess up the signal. That's really
No.
nothing compared to
That's
carbon fiber.
literally it's fabric. Like
Now
it's
it
nothing.
does though. From there, it could technically still have to pass through the nose of the board.
Could.
though. So the other option was we talked about getting
Talked
it
about-
under the gasket in between the lid
Yep.
and the deck itself, and being able to place it there.
We also talked about drilling a super tiny hole through the lid of the deck, which would
Okay.
literally do nothing,
Yeah.
and then just have it flat underneath the grip tape. It's the tiniest little antenna wire. You wouldn't
Okay.
even feel it. You wouldn't even see it, but it would be there, and you would have direct. So far, that hasn't been an issue.
No.
The VX2 Pro and the VX4 so far, there's no connectivity issues with the carbon, but that's just an if. Those were our contingency
Yes.
plans if we
The
decided, hey, this actually sucks.
The what ifs.
But-
And our expectations are so high, but
Yeah.
we've talked to a few other, people that work in the industry, things like that, and they have similar processes, procedures. They have things that they do, like we heard about the 9-foot test. So they step 9 feet away from the board, they turn away from it, and they cover the remote physically. And if
Yep.
the remote actually shows that it's trying to disconnect, that's a good thing.
Right.
Yes.
It should do that. When it doesn't, or if it completely disconnects,
Right.
they've got a big issue.
Yes.
Yeah, a bigger problem would be a remote disconnecting but not actively showing that in the status bar. That's
right,
a problem.
Right.
Yes.
It's like
That's a huge
frozen,
problem.
basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I will say about the VX4 though is I've walked quite a ways away, 25 feet, and that status, I can't get the status thing to go down.
Huh.
Right.
So I want to try to actively get a real disconnect because I think your disconnect potentially was just software related.
Okay.
Because
we were down on the strip, so very busy with signals.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on. But again, like
signals.
nobody else.
that
I
honestly
know
that
any
shouldn't
issues.
be. I think nowadays interference is less and less of a valid excuse.
Like though they used to say the
Okay.
boosted board remote sucked in New York or something
Yeah.
like crazy. Like
Well, I was talking to the Hoyt team. Now, of course, they'll have a little bit of some, they're partial to their pucks, which they're nice remotes. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
among the community pretty much says
Yes.
best
You
signal,
can get
right?
real
And I
pretty
probably agree
pucks
with that.
too.
I probably agree with that. But they'll say that the flip ski remotes literally they do not work
Okay.
in New York.
Huh.
is that what? Okay, the flip sky.
I can't remember. I can't tell you exactly who I was speaking to about that, but it was at the convention. And they were saying we bring extra remote. I don't know who it was, but they're like we bring extra remotes to our group rides because if you show up with a flip ski remote, we just tell you like, dude, you got to.
You know what
can't
it
use
is?
that.
It's the antenna and the Statue of Liberty that the government uses to talk to the aliens.
That's
bro.
right. That's right. That's what it is.
Yep. I told you guys.
Yeah.
Heard it here first.
Yep. But so that's interesting. Anyway, enough about the VX4.
Okay.
I'm happy to see that they've kind of gotten that worked out.
Yes.
It's kind of a shame because now no one has confidence in that remote now.
Okay.
So I wish they had just done legitimate beta testing versus
Yes.
I don't know the scenario.
Yeah.
Seems like and the community feels, which I probably agree with, that they just kind of released a remote and
was
beta
like, here you
tested
go.
on their customers.
Yeah, the customers were the beta testers,
Or-
like One Wheel does.
Here's what I'll say. My guess is it worked in their factory. There's no way they just said, "Oh yeah, this doesn't work. Let's ship it."
Right.
My imagine is maybe there is something to do with whatever frequencies we do have out here that maybe they don't have in China. That maybe I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and go, maybe there's just something they couldn't physically test in China that's different here.
Yeah.
Don't know what it would be.
Well, they always say real world
It's
testing
different.
is real world. What happens in the real world is different than testing.
So maybe they should have done one more round of like private testing before they started shipping units.
Yeah, but then people would have been waiting, and then everybody else would have been mad. So you're almost kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And that whole process, really, if 10 of them, if you give out 10, 9 of them work and one goes bad,
Oh, that's good.
you have to put out a firmware update for everything, even though you know
the other 9 could still be fine.
Yeah,
they
but
could still be fine.
But a
but you still
10%
need the
failure
update.
rate is very high.
Exactly.
Okay.
In this industry, 10% failure rate would be incredibly high.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't have that. Like
Gotta
1%.
yeah,
1% scary. Like when we get a batch of storm cores, we had one that went down, which is 1%. I think that's fair. I think that's a reasonable. I think 99%. If you can have all your products work 99% for 99% of people, I think that's good. But I think every single percentage point that you trend in the wrong direction, it just gets overwhelming with people who have bad experiences.
It's a whole other topic, but like the expectations still are very, very high for an industry that is not that old.
Oh no, everyone
So
has super
we
high
talk about
expectations.
the storm
Yeah. All
core.
my stuff better work perfectly.
Yeah, we talk about a storm core or like a Fockbox or whatever as, you know, these benchmarks and they're the best, but like
The best.
Dude, they're
of the best.
3 years
really,
old. They're 2 years
like
old.
there isn't enough
crazy how-
background still to really know.
Yeah.
And then every year something changes.
Yeah.
Right. So as soon as they put out a storm core, then we start putting bigger batteries. Well, guess what? They're gonna have to build a bigger ESC. You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna have bigger batteries. And it's gonna constantly do this yo-yo until we, as writers or companies, whatever, say, okay, this is the how much farther can we take this? You know, can a board go 100 miles an hour? Someday it probably will. Will we see it? I don't think I want to do 100 on a board.
Someone will do it.
I think
Somebody will
next
do it
step
just because.
It's going to be the hoverboards, like a real hoverboard. No wheels, no trucks, floats an inch above the
Is
ground.
that an e-skate?
Yeah. Ooh.
That's a whole different. No,
E-float.
That would be different.
Hover. Ooh, I don't like the way any of those sound.
I don't know, right?
Yeah.
We'll come back to this another day. But I mean, just like, what is the next step for electric skateboards? I mean,
I think it just
bro.
simply becomes efficiency. Like,
yeah, it's just efficient. It's
at
just
the end of the day, it's always going to
flying.
be a skateboard. Then it's
In 100
if
years-
it flies, it's not a skateboard.
in 100 in 20 years, we'll power an electric skateboard on a battery that fits in our pocket.
Yeah, or just inside our thumb or something. You know?
Like the size of one 21700 cell will be able to do everything we can do now in these giant packs.
I still say the company JK, what they're doing is really cool.
JK.
Yeah, JAYKAY, really cool.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
So they build, they have a truck system that
Yep.
they put forward. I think they're 21700 now.
Yeah.
In each truck, so it's like an 8S.
1P.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty wicked though. I
So it's
thought
like-
it was pretty cool.
It's
idea.
just like pretty much a completely invisible battery that
Yeah.
They
not-
claim the same range as an Evolve Stoke.
Well,
So-
8 miles.
Yep.
Not-
8 to
not-
12 miles.
But not good
Huh.
speed, not good
Like
torque
15
probably.
to 18. But again,
Huh.
you're on just
I think-
your regular old skateboard, so there's no additional weight. You don't have
Hub
all
motors
that
though. But
hub
yeah.
motors,
Yeah.
basically a 4-wheel drive
So
hub
the
motor. If you
truck
did two
is-
sets.
Oh.
But again, it's the concept. It's the idea that like the efficiency, the smaller, you know, they're hiding things.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that the batteries were built into the trucks?
Yeah.
Correct.
Like the trucks are like the hangers
That just
are
doesn't
a little
hollow.
bigger, they're a little
sound
thicker.
Safe.
It doesn't sound safe. I agree
Right?
with you, but it must be.
It had to have worked.
It worked.
How many
somehow.
hangers break? And then like, you know, I don't know.
I don't know. That's a whole thing that, and again, that's not obviously mainstream. So who knows?
It's just the idea
We
of
haven't
the
adopted it.
technology,
Yeah.
similar to, you know, Hunter boards kind of going a little off the beaten path with
Right.
their designs. But like, hey, we need that stuff
yeah.
because otherwise we don't innovate.
Yep.
We just all push out the same stuff.
Right. So okay, I think that's that for our boards. But I think we have a couple other things. So
Yes.
VX4, that's that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to.
No,
to
we
talk
liked
about.
it. It was cool. It was a good remote. We liked it.
We like it. I will probably. I'd like to offer that as our actual standard remote.
Yes.
I think so. I just hope the remote turns out to be reliable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's too early to tell, but let's hope. Should we do badass build of the week?
Yeah.
We have one.
Shoot it.
We have one. Okay.
We haven't heard of a badass build of the week for
Dude, Maddie, this is from
Took a break
Ross,
from this
correct?
segment.
This is from Ross. So Ross, we met him
Ross
at the
from-
convention.
Okay.
Do we have like music for our segment? Should we?
We
put
don't.
In,
We
should we put in
should.
like a little little genie song right now or
I
something?
think any of our viewers who does music should do a jingle for us.
So right after
badass
this sentence,
build
we're
of the
gonna
week.
put our
It's
first try for music for the badass build. So
When
we'll
is this?
insert it right here.
Here we are to check what you have. The badass build of the week.
And then we'll see if you guys like that or not.
Oh God! Now I have to come up with the music.
You got to find a song.
I will.
You got to find
jingle
7
myself.
to 10 second
Oh,
jingle right
God.
there.
Oh, I can. Come up with
Okay.
it. I would love to. This. I got it.
Maddie's mad because now she's got to
She is.
edit this
I see
in.
her
Yep.
shaking her head like, damn it. She's writing down when I just did that.
Yep.
All right. So this is. I have not read this yet. Maddie sent me this. She texted me this, and I have not read it. I have not really seen the pictures.
Okay.
But I do remember who Ross was. Ross was using a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Revel kit.
Mm-hmm.
He was riding to and from
Oh,
the
from
venue.
the convention.
Yeah, from the
Nice.
convention.
Yep. Yeah.
He placed, I want to say, third maybe in his division,
I
think
think
so.
it was
and he was riding to and from the his hotel to the
on cloud wheels, right? Too?
yes on
Yep.
orange cloud wheels. I
I
think.
think
I
so.
want to say. Anyway, very cool guy.
Yep.
But as soon as he got back home, he was like ready to do a build.
He's
I think
all
he won a couple
Yep.
things at
Yeah.
the convention.
Yep.
He's like, all right, I
Shoot
got
it.
half the parts. Let's build the build.
Let's do it.
So this is the build he
This
did.
is
So
build.
so this is his email. He goes, having met Mike and you.
He was emailing me.
That makes sense.
Ah.
Okay. At the Esk8 convention in Las Vegas, I was riding a direct drive Revel kit with 4-wheel drive setup to and from the event on a loaded test track board as I was staying at a hotel near the strip. I actually placed third in novice, credit to the urethane wheels. And other than that night ride where one individual was riding a Revel as a backup, I was the only individual I saw with the Revel kit. I carry multiple battery packs that I can swap out. And these are convenient in that I can carry them on commercial flights. The standard range versions and 4,000 milliamp hours are legal. Okay, so he's saying they're convenient because you can carry them on a flight.
Yes.
However, I can only run 110 millimeter diameter wheels on a direct drive setup. Imagine after that point,
Yeah.
you're just torqued.
Yeah.
Goes to shit.
Yep. And range.
Yeah. I met lots of e-skate riders during the event and was astounded by their builds, but more especially by the range anxiety that many of the riders exhibited. Some of these guys were claiming 40 plus miles per charge. Now I can do that with my Revel kit, but it takes 4 packs to do it. Yeah, that's true. So you have to stop every 10 miles and swap
Take
the
a
battery
break,
in.
swap it out.
Which
It's a
to
good,
me-
like, if you, yeah.
my feet are killing me every 10 miles, so that's not a horrible thing anyways, but I feel you don't want to have to do it. So having won all-terrain wheels and trucks during the raffle, it was clear that I had to build one of these longer-range belt-driven boards. So my first configuration of the Interstellar was with urethane, and then when the proper belts were sized, I transitioned to all-terrain tires. It was clear from the get-go with those that balancing was required, and I actually have sticky weights as one of the other. Okay, so he took the time to
Yeah,
balance
wow.
his AT tires.
Okay.
Good for him. Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you
Yeah.
don't. It's like I call it the rubber lottery.
Yeah.
How good? Just sometimes you got to do it.
Sometimes you just got to spin your wheel, and if it needs to be balanced, you got to do it.
And
But-
sometimes on the bench they kind of wobble, and then when you ride them, you don't feel it. So it totally just depends.
Yeah.
We have one 7-inch tire on one of our
the
boards. It's
wobbles,
bad.
wobble.
It's so bad, and we just got to swap it out.
Wobble.
But it's just like the rubber lottery. It's
Yeah.
like they call it the silicon lottery when you
Yeah.
buy
That's going to be my Esk8 tattoo, the silicone lottery. I'm going to put a
Silicone.
tire right here.
yeah.
Bam.
They call it
Big
the
ol' knobby
silicon lottery when you buy processors because some of the processors you buy are really good and some of
Yeah.
them are like average.
Okay.
And it just is what it is.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but anyways,
We don't do average.
no, yeah.
The
My
excellence goes up.
my first long range ride was in Cleveland where I used urethane and went as far down the Erie Canal tow trail as I could in the time allotted. It was fantastic, and I was hooked again. I used Velcro straps with shred lights so that they don't vibrate in their mount, so they're quiet. Stormcore 60D with heat shrink, and then our 12S3P transparent series battery pack.
Okay.
Along with board bumpers. Also, to get some additional height on the truck, some nose guards just in case. Okay. Anyways,
Wow.
I am terrible at reading, so I apologize for anyone who had to suffer through that. But he sent some photos in, and we'll put them in now. He added the heatsink, our new heatsink, to his build.
Okay.
So after the fact. And I have to say, you guys look through his photos. He did like a really, really good job installing his heatsink.
Oh.
Because what I'm expecting to see with the heatsinks, because the heatsink mounts from the inside, I expect to see some total hack jobs, to be honest.
Okay.
Because you have to have your holes visible. So we did that for
Oh, there we go.
a number of reasons, but mainly because it's like super low profile on the outside of the board. That's why we did it.
Okay.
But like he cut his hole
In the enclosure.
in the enclosure beautifully, but
Yeah.
also he did it with curved sides, so it matches
Yeah.
the shape of the heatsink. So he did a really good job on that.
Yeah, that's no hack job.
No, he did a
Ross.
great job on that. He did a good job on that.
Yeah, look at that.
And I looked at that. I said, damn, we should have done that for our new boards.
Yeah.
We just have a regular square. We should have done but I was like, whatever. It's too late now.
Still can on the other one.
Still could on the other one. You're right. We haven't done that. We haven't done our bamboo
You're just stuck
enclosure.
using that enclosure or using that ESC.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice build, man.
Yeah. So mostly it's an Interstellar. So
Yeah.
it looks like Interstellar, but
I like the 110s.
he did a good job,
look
and
good.
he's using the Torque Boards 110s, which look really good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, good job, dude.
Yeah, it looks good.
Everyone who had to listen to me read, I apologize. I'm just not great.
Let's just say you're not the best at it.
Not the best at reading.
Yeah, you're better. You're better at other things. Building batteries.
And better at
Real-
building batteries than
real-
reading.
yeah.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
Pluses and minuses you're
yeah,
good with.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that I can do. You don't blow yourself up reading usually though, so that's something else. So unless you're a bomb tech and you read something wrong,
Right.
blow yourself up.
Yep.
Damn it. All right, so there's that. There's our badass build of the week. So that's
Could
cool.
you blow
It's nice
up?
to bring that back.
Could you blow up a battery pack, bro?
Could you blow it up?
Is
well,
there any way that you could mix around a couple wires or something and make it so that when you go to power that thing on,
yeah.
blows
So
up?
it's hard to truly blow yourself. So when I say blow myself up, I mean just a quick short circuit,
Boom.
pop,
Yeah.
Pew, pew.
bright light, loud noise,
Yeah.
done. That's what I talk about. Like, because usually to blow, like actually make a battery explode,
Okay.
you usually have to short circuit something and then leave it connected to the point where the battery finally goes like exothermic and actually like blows up.
Okay.
It'll catch fire
Catches
first,
fire.
and then it'll pop and hiss
Yep.
and blow gas and
Yeah.
blow up from
And
there.
once those things are going, you really
You
can't
don't stop
it.
them.
Nope.
No, that's a freight train right
Run.
there. You don't stop
Yeah.
those.
Run.
You have to. Hopefully, you have your sand bucket nearby. You can
Right. Or a
swat it in
Nobleman-
there. Or,
Yeah, or a Nobleman tech bag and pray that that bag is going to work.
It's still not something you see though that often.
Not
and,
very
and
often.
maybe it's
No,
just
no,
because
no.
not everybody gets it on camera. But like
I think
out
most.
of the thousands that are out there, it's probably ones that are being abused.
I
also.
think most battery fires, I believe, are because the batteries are physically wet,
Okay.
and then they're just short circuiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no short circuit. They're like cooking themselves from the inside, or there's a physical puncture.
Yeah.
When you have a wire that short circuits, you will melt and fray that wire
Okay.
long before the battery,
Really
I think, blows
melts
up.
up.
Usually.
Okay.
Now, if you have some really heavy gauge wire, maybe your
Yeah.
gauge wire could potentially outlast your battery, then whatever. But like a charge port wire or something will just melt and break off, and then that short circuit's no longer an issue.
Okay.
And then, you might have a smelly mess in there, but you're not going to explode.
Okay.
Now, obviously, there's crazy shit happens. Crazy shit happens. So is what it is. So last week I joked about having a sponsor.
Yeah.
You
This
did.
week we have a
Yeah,
sponsor.
that's a
And
real
then we
thing.
got one.
That
We
was
have a
real
sponsor.
thing. Good job,
We
guys.
have a sponsor.
Yep.
I mean,
that's
it's
it.
kind of
There
a
it is.
sponsor, but it's
It's a
sponsor.
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 Dude.
Jacob-
Sponsors are sponsor.
so it's not much, but we're trying to. I have a lot of plans for making the studio better.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to like dedicate some more resources to the
Yes.
podcast.
Yes.
So, anyways, Jacob, you want to take it away really
Yeah,
quick?
so we picked up a sponsor, XS Sports CBD. So this is a 100% THC-free CBD line, really targeted towards like athletes. I played sports for years and years. So on our Tuesday softball nights, it takes me about an hour
Yes.
just to get going. So you rub a little of this on the CBD. It's got multiple levels. We gave some to James
I
and,
love
and
it.
Mike today
I
after the
put
ride.
some on my neck.
And so they've been kind of addicted to it all day.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, it's good.
It's been
So
passed
it's
around.
pain
and you-
relief mainly.
Yeah, it
Yep.
is, man.
Yeah, it is.
It
It's a
is.
nice muscle pain relief.
And you can get it in all different versions, whether it's topical or like the tinctures that you can take, orally.
Okay.
Tinctures.
Yeah, and the sports CBD line, man, that thing wrecks.
That's
I
cool.
love it. Yeah, I love
There's
it. Use it daily.
So there's no THC in this at all.
Right,
huh?
zero.
Yeah, see that
0%.
What?
that's cool because I would not be into it with the THC, but
Yeah.
if it's just straight CBD, that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, pure CBD.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So I can
That's
go.
cool.
Yeah,
go-
jump on the website xssportscbd.com.
We'll put the info in the description if you're interested. Because we really would only take sponsors that make sense for electric skateboarding,
Right.
but
Yeah.
our bodies and pain and our joints and all
Uh-huh.
that's kind of part
Yeah,
of it.
stuff
So
helps
I think
out.
it kind of it was a good fit. I think.
Yeah, listen,
Rubbing, like no joke, rubbing this on my feet sounds weird, but like, oh my god,
yeah.
it's
after
like
a
walking
30
on
mile
clouds
ride.
when you're done. It feels so
Yeah.
nice, and there's nothing that hurts more. So
Yep.
the nice thing is also if you are a podcast subscriber or listener,
Yeah.
you can use a code and you're
Oh,
getting
shit.
20% off.
What?
That's cool.
So that's
Got
pretty
it.
good.
It'll help
deal.
support
Got
the
it.
show.
Got a
Help support the show.
code. Got
We'll
a
put the
code.
code down in the bottom.
Cool.
And the code is Esk8Exchange, so just the name of the show. Type
go.
that in when you're going to check out. That code will be active until July 1st.
Oh,
That's cool. Boom.
I had to hide my fingernails. I just realized that I've got like talons and they're dirty.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so do not zoom in on my fingers. Actually, keep this as a white shot.
It's all good. We're all good. All right. Well, that's cool. That's kind of fun. So cool.
250 milligrams.
Yeah, this one's a little on the low.
huh?
This one's a little on the lower end.
Okay.
This one will give you kind of that temporary relief.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes. You just
Yeah.
have those pains here and
Yeah.
there. Really, when you get into the salves, that's when it gets the deeper, pains,
Yeah.
things like that. So we'll be trying out all this. We'll be doing some giveaways for you guys, but you'll be hearing more and seeing more from XS Sports.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
cool.
So I think I feel like we have another topic, and I can't remember what it is.
Fact or fiction?
Okay. Do you remember what it was?
Batteries.
What about them?
Is it bad for me to plug in my
Oh.
board as soon as I get home from a 100% to 0% charge?
So you're saying like as soon as you walk in the door?
As soon as I walk in the door, like I just went on this 25-mile
Okay.
ride and I rode hard and I'm putting her up wet. Can I plug my board? I mean, not really wet, but you know what I mean? Like
Okay, I feel you.
but I mean, I just went on a long ride, went
Yep.
from 100 and I went down to 0. Is it bad for me to plug my
Okay.
battery in as soon as I get home?
what have
or
you heard?
should I
What have you
wait?
heard about this?
So there's what I hear is that you should let your stuff cool down.
Okay.
And then I've also heard that there's stuff that's built into boards that
Yeah.
are like thermostats. And
Let's-
if
Let's explain fact or fiction too, right?
Yeah.
oh, okay. What is fact or fiction?
So fact or fiction, what we're going to be able to do is look at something that we're kind of like wishy-washy. You
Yeah.
hear it from one person says this, you hear it from another person that says
Yeah.
this. We are going to give you the answer from a practicality standpoint.
Or from our,
What-
I guess it's just our opinion.
It's our opinion, but it's like what is really practical,
Yeah.
right? What in real world usage should you expect, and
Yeah.
what could and may happen?
well,
so-
and a lot of the fact or fiction stuff you guys are trying out.
Yeah. So here's to answer your question.
Yes.
I think obviously the best thing to always do is to keep all your electronics at room temperature at all times,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so if someone wants to argue that it's best to let your stuff cool, sure, that's
Mm-hmm.
probably right.
Yeah.
But like practically, if you need to charge
Charge.
now,
Yeah.
charge now.
Okay.
It does I think we obsess over, well, what temperature is this? What temperature is that? And
Yeah.
if I charge to 100% every day, what does that do to my battery
Yeah,
degradation? But
degradation.
then you have to go, how long are you realistically going to own this battery for?
Okay.
Realistically, what's
Yeah.
the average? This would be a good question for you guys.
Okay.
If you're watching right now, if you've owned multiple boards, tell me what boards they were, how long you owned them for.
Mhm.
Or if you've only got one board, tell me how long you've had that board for.
Yep. How many miles?
And if you've swapped your components 100 times, that's going to skew things.
Yeah.
Don't
How-
tell us you have 5,000 miles and
Yeah.
And you swapped your components 8 times
Right,
each.
yeah.
No, like how long have you had like a consistent setup at one time?
Mhm.
Now, if you swapped a motor here or there, fine. I'm
Yeah.
talking like battery, ESC.
Yeah.
Like how long have you owned a single battery for? I
Yeah.
guess.
I want to see a single battery that somebody's had for like 7 years. What's
18S
going on?
Proto has like 6,000 miles on his single battery.
What?
Yeah.
Tri battery systems, I think, just balanced it for him or something. I saw on their Instagram. He's got
like 3
insane
years old.
miles on there, and he's had his for like 3 or 4 years.
Jacob
puts big
just
miles.
Jacob
Puts
logged
big
in
miles down.
3,332 miles in how many years? 3 years of
Yeah,
skating.
a couple years.
So
Yeah.
he's basically skated around the United States.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think most of us, I don't think we own our batteries long enough for a lot of this shit to matter.
Nah.
I mean, some of us really do. Some of us really like they'll hold the same board for 4 or 5 years, and that's
Okay.
great. But most of us, especially if you're like addicted to it, or if
Yeah.
this is your like main
every
favorite
couple
hobby,
years.
and I think if you're watching the show, this is your favorite thing. This is
yeah.
your favorite
probably.
thing, your hobby,
so you're
whatever.
going to be wanting to get new tech every couple
get-
years.
Every 2 years, you're getting a new board. Maybe every year. Maybe
Yeah.
you don't even make it a whole year.
Yeah.
Like people sell it, like because the thing is, like a board's $1,000.
Yeah.
Like let's just say you buy a board for $1,000. You ride it for 3 months.
Okay.
You probably could flip it for $700-800.
Yeah, you had
Then
your
you go
fun
and buy a $1,200 board. And you keep doing the same thing. You end
yeah.
up with a $2,000 board by the end of the year.
Yep.
And you've only really like people buy and sell their boards all the time. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
realistically, I think these best practices, they're best practices, but are they practical practices? No, I don't think so. I think waiting for my board to be totally room temperature after a hard ride to charge it is a lame way of
Well, I
thinking.
mean, because you're not going to get the battery any warmer than it was when it was running.
That's
it.
what I'm thinking too.
So
like,
it's still going to be just as warm as if it was
Yeah.
running. So honestly, is it really that bad?
yeah.
I mean, now if your battery gets to 250,
well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
At the end of the day, you just go out and ride your shit.
Yeah.
Like ride it, charge it,
yeah.
ride it.
I think-
Ride
charge
it till you kill it,
I think,
or
and
you
I'll,
know, whatever.
maybe we have the luxury of just having a warehouse full of shit. So
Yeah.
I think we don't baby our stuff at all because we simply don't care.
Now you guys ride your stuff for
We
sure.
ride it pretty hard, and we don't. Well, Jacob, let's put it this way: Jacob does take care of really good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't take care of my shit. Jacob takes care of my shit. And that's kind of how it
Jacob
is.
talked crap to me today about cleaning the board. He's like,
Yeah.
"Is that good enough?" No, that's
Rookie.
not.
Yeah.
I would have done this and this and this and this. And I'm like looking at it like, okay, sorry, I thought it looked great. But that
So
boils down to
Jake-
Jacob takes his stuff apart almost after every single ride
And cleans it all.
Cleans everything,
Yeah.
bro. And so
And it's not that bad. Like
It's
it
really
takes-
not. It takes 30, 35 minutes. I don't
Maybe.
go to the extent that he does.
Yeah.
But
It's almost therapeutic.
yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? It is for sure.
It's like a nice, like, let me
Yeah.
take a minute, clean my
Yeah.
board, like
Yeah.
take pride in my board.
Yep.
But here's my thing: I don't do that. I don't really
Okay.
care about it because I know that if I break something, I'll just go replace
Yeah.
it. And
Ride
it's
it
and
hard
there's a
and put it
lug
up wet.
and there's like a luxury of there's like a luxury that I have that other people don't.
okay.
I don't want to sound like I'm totally like not paying attention to like the
Yes.
general. So I think people do like to baby their stuff a little bit, but I think people are generally they also baby their stuff too much.
Yeah.
Like they don't they think like, oh, my board's too warm, I can't plug it in. It's like, dude, just plug
Yeah.
your board in.
Yeah. Just plug it
Like
in.
whatever happens. I don't know.
You notice it's like extremes, right? You
Yeah.
have people like me who are like over the top with the way they take care of shit, and then there's the opposite that
Yeah.
just don't care.
Mhm.
Right.
They just don't care. It's like the in between. I don't know what the in between is.
Probably me. I care
yeah.
enough to keep everything nice and to keep me safe. And also I care enough to make it so that it stays nice enough so I don't have to buy more shit in a
Yeah.
couple more months.
Right.
You know, but I don't go to the extent where it's like, oh, I want it all super shiny.
Yeah.
No, I just want my board to
Yeah.
not squeak. I want it to perform well, and I want it to somewhat look good
Yeah.
for the group rides, bro.
So I'll say this: when I built my very first board, that was before I had stock of anything. I didn't have anything. This was my first board. I was simply a DIY board owner. I didn't have anything else.
Yep.
And I did take care of my stuff pretty well. I would tighten my stuff. I would take care of it. Now I'm lazy about it.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't in my position, I would certainly do maybe not as extensive as Jacob.
Jacob blows the motors out.
It's just
cleans-
But-
it's like the way everybody does it. It follows into like some sort of real world situation.
Okay.
So there are people like you. There are
Yeah.
people like me. There are people like James.
Yeah.
And so we get to sort of experience all those different things and how does the board react, what
Oh,
happens,
yeah.
things like that. So
So good thing we got one of Each of us.
yeah.
We're the 3 best friends that anyone could have.
So, anyways, so the answer to bring it all back
What was the question?
whether you should plug your battery.
Oh,
in, right?
yeah,
See,
right
to
away.
me, immediately though, I already feel like unless you're like fast charging it at like
Okay.
super high amp, like maxing out the or
5
totally
amp, 6
saturating,
amp.
the charge current on your battery.
Amp.
If you're just, especially if you're plugging it in, oh man, he's
getting
Getting it
really
right now. There's
itchy.
no way that. How does that
That's
not
got
hurt?
to hurt.
Oh man, you all right, dude?
for our listeners. My dog is
Yeah,
just
went
itching the hell out of his
down
face.
Down
on
on
his
his
lip
chin.
with this. Sorry, bud. Whatever happened. Okay.
So, anyways,
No, it's not bad.
it's not bad.
Ride-
Just plug your
ride
stuff in.
it,
Well,
charge
here's what I'll say. What about Chai battery systems? They've got that top mount box that you
Okay.
plug into your back of your board while you ride it.
It's wizardry, bro.
What
You
about
know
that?
There we go. Because
Fucking
you're charging
wizardry.
your board while you're riding
So-
your and that's a double whammy.
Right, because now it's like not only are we not waiting to get home,
But we got it on.
we got
and
it
it's
on and running.
Yeah.
and it's charging.
It's pushing power while it's pulling
Yeah.
power.
I don't understand how that works. Is it simply a battery that's just connected via parallel to your current battery with a charge port?
I don't know.
Or is there a
We'll have to-
device inside regulating the charge voltage?
That's a great question.
I don't get how that
Fred
works.
has one of those.
I asked him how it works, and he doesn't
says
know.
he
I
doesn't
just
know?
Break it
Nobody
open.
knows.
I just have to open it, and I'll be able to tell you exactly
Okay.
what it is.
That
I
is-
just have to open it.
That is what we're trying to get our sponsorship money for. We want enough money that we can buy some
Right.
of this shit on eBay.
Yeah.
And all you people that are asking us, well, what about this board?
Well, here
We're gonna
go buy
take a
it.
fucking chainsaw. We're gonna saw it in half.
After
and we're
we
gonna
ride
say,
it. Yeah.
this is what
what
you
it
get,
is. Yeah.
right? No,
Right.
no secrets, no nothing. We'll write it first.
Yeah.
We're gonna go play on it,
right?
and then we're gonna cut it in half.
just to see what it is.
That's gonna be the show segment. It's gonna be the most expensive podcast segment ever,
Right,
probably.
yeah.
but
That'd be funny. So not
What's
only are
inside?
you
Nice
getting to
hell.
check out the competition stuff, but you get to cut it in half
hell
at
yeah,
the
I'm
end.
gonna
Yeah.
cut it in half. And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna send it back to him and say,
Yeah.
my board
Yeah.
broke.
Boys,
Can
yeah.
I get a refund?
Yeah, dude.
Can you send me my shipping too?
Yeah. So I think that's all we got though. I think
Yeah.
that's it for Fact or Fiction.
Yeah.
Just plug your shit in. Don't worry about
Plug
it.
it in, ride it, be safe, and try not to charge your shit when you're not home.
Yeah, that. So okay.
So I mean,
Not
it's a
to
hard
charge
thing
your
to not.
shit when you're okay. I got it.
So
So it's
he's-
a hard thing not to do because a lot of us live regular lives where we're gone most of the day and everything. Not like I'm like a stay-at-home
Yeah.
dad, so I'm home all day. But I understand sometimes you got to come home, plug your stuff in, and then you got other things to do. And you gotta,
I mean, though, should I be that worried? Because how many other stupid things
But
do I have
what
plugged into
if?
my house?
yeah.
Like
I say
okay,
try. I
so
say try not to.
My wife's grandmother
okay.
will not let you leave the house until you unplug every appliance in the kitchen.
Grandma knows best, bro.
Every appliance,
What?
minus the fridge, right? Like
Yeah.
minus the microwave, but everything.
Listen,
Did you
Grandma
unplug
knows-
this? Did you unplug your
That's-
alarm
that's
clock?
excessive.
Like my alarm clock, I don't need to worry about the alarm clock.
No,
So
I
like,
know all that stuff does drain. Like
You know,
Yeah.
drain.
they
on
used to
a
say
power grid,
unplug
but-
your TV when you leave your house because it blah, blah, blah. Like
Well, technically,
I have to.
like
I
we
have to
said,
think that
you
these
can't.
chargers are safe enough. My house is, all these things.
I just think
like,
lithium batteries are just its own thing.
They are. They can be dangerous.
So our official recommendation is to never charge your board unattended. That's what it is. Do we sometimes?
do it.
do
Yeah,
it?
it happens. Just
I
try
do.
to.
Maybe we
just-
do that.
We may or may not.
We may
Who
or may
knows?
not, but you should not.
Yes.
No
I
different
guess
than-
that's what I'm going to
Because
say.
it can
charging
be,
in your sleep too.
It can be dangerous.
Well, right, because then if you're sleeping,
Yeah.
is it unattended?
Well, just the
Maybe.
thing is, you have very little amount of time to get that board from something to somewhere before it's really erupted. You have like
You have
0.762
you
seconds
have
to
very-
go get this away from a wall or something, or get this away from a gas line. Like you really have no time to get it away from anything. So it's like,
I'm running.
Yeah, that's
you
a tough
know?
one. Honestly, I also think it's a very rare instance.
let's
We would need a charging dog, a dog that just sits there and watches.
dude, can
the
we
charger and
can
when
we
it-
blow a battery pack up?
So
You could probably blow a battery. We have some batteries we've been wanting to take out to the range. And just-
yeah, we wanted to take some batteries out to the range
And
and,
go
shoot
shoot
them.
'em?
Yeah,
I can't.
Shoot
I
'em.
can't come with you guys. I can come. I can stand.
You have
I can
to stay
stand.
100
yeah,
feet
Yeah, I gotta
away.
stay 100 feet away. I'm not
Oh,
listening.
jeez.
Yeah, I can't.
Unless it's like a 22 or something.
Yeah,
Or BB pellet
gun, bro.
Yeah.
I can shoot a BB
No,
gun.
but an air rifle would probably do it.
Yeah?
It probably penetrated enough. Yeah.
Like
That's all
a-
you'd have to do is just a small,
a pellet gun.
literally, yeah. A
We could
pellet
go
gun would
do a
probably do it.
MythBusters
Yeah,
themed
That'd be
show,
cool.
and we'll
we
test
could.
out.
We have to just go out to the desert where there's
Yeah.
no hazard
You
of
could just do it out
catching
of the
anything
wetlands
else.
and just pull off real
Definitely
quick.
not the wetlands. That thing,
We already got yelled at this morning.
dude.
Yeah, by the
Okay,
Karens.
I have a couple stories about our ride this morning.
yeah,
Actually,
tell
I
them
said
about
there's
the
nothing
Karens.
notable about our ride. I have a
Show's
couple.
gonna be a little longer.
Sorry,
today,
guys.
So
Okay.
grab
If-
another coffee.
Strap in.
If you're
Yeah.
if you're not interested anymore, that's fine. You
Yeah.
can click
But
away.
this- yeah,
but
but this is cool.
pisses me off.
Yeah.
There's a couple things.
Yes.
So we're at wetlands,
Yep.
just literally minding our own business.
Mhm.
We
Not even going fast.
no. Whenever there's people like walkers,
Yeah.
we slow way
Slow
down.
down. Way down. I try to
way
be
down.
nice. I put my hand up. Hey, on your
Hey,
left,
good morning.
On your right.
and
How are
literally
you?
99% people we go,
Yeah.
they go, oh hey, like they're like that looks
Yeah.
fun.
Whee!
We had some bicycle or cycling girls say, oh
Yes,
that looks
like-
fun.
yeah.
Like it is.
Yeah.
Then we got this one lady who's just
Yes.
like taking a picture of like her dad or something
Yeah.
weird, like
Minding her own business
in the
until she's
in the
seen
walk,
us.
like on the walk,
on the
path.
walk on the path.
Yeah.
So blocking the path.
Yep.
So, but not enough to where we can't get by. We get by,
Yeah.
and she looks at us and goes, you're not supposed to have these here.
Yeah.
And the sign does say no motorized vehicles, but like
Yes.
again, we're not motorized vehicles.
No.
We're not a vehicle,
Nope.
so it's not
They're
Yeah.
explicitly referencing motorcycles, and
Motorcycles,
cars.
quads, stuff like
Yeah.
that, dirt bikes,
You
stuff
know,
like
we'll
that.
see. So, and I could understand maybe having to walk from the parking lot, maybe walk your bike, but even the bikers don't walk their little bikes in that area. They ride their
No.
bikes through that
Yeah.
area. And do they get anything said to them?
No.
No?
So, and this is what I'll say again. Like that leads me to my second story. One, that she didn't have to say anything. We
She
were
didn't.
gone.
She
We were
didn't.
gone, and out of her. We were in her eyesight for maybe 10 seconds.
Not even that.
Not even that.
Yeah.
And she just had to say something shitty to us just because. I'm like, okay.
I even waved and said good morning, and then
Yeah.
she yelled
Yeah.
at you guys.
yeah, we say good morning first, and then okay.
I even called her sweetie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that usually melts them.
Yeah.
Not this time.
not this time.
Not with
She
the
was
Karens.
grouchy,
No.
dude. She was
And
she was a
then-
very much a Karen.
And, yeah, and then we
Okay.
got a Karen in a bus.
And then we're riding
Oh,
back.
Well, biker dude.
We're on our way back.
yeah.
Oh,
there
that
was
guy.
3 things.
I had
Four.
to run in with the
4 or
biker
5.
dude.
Yeah, this like
Yeah, Jacob almost had to take a dude out
It's
on
like
a
a
bike.
road. He was on like a Roadmaster from
Yeah.
the 1960s. This old steel bike,
just
and-
getting it, too.
Yeah, but like every hill he'd slow way down, and somehow he just kind of got caught in our
And us.
little like yo-yo
Yep.
of the hills and whatnot.
Right.
And there was one time you guys had passed him. I was coming up behind him, and he's just riding in the middle.
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't go left or
Yeah, I
right.
can't go
so
left.
I finally went around him because he was going so slow, and he yells, "I'm gonna pass you on the downhill anyways." And I was like,
Okay.
I just kept going. He
Yeah.
didn't pass me,
No.
and we kept going a little further. And then when when you guys had stopped,
Yep.
he decided he wanted to go around when there was oncoming traffic.
Yep.
Like it's just people being stupid, man.
Etiquette.
Okay.
Etiquette.
People being
Etiquette.
stupid.
Okay, and then we're on our way back. So the way that we get from this our ride spot
Yeah.
is we got to do a voltage
Ooh,
check.
voltage check.
We've been
Man.
testing charge rates and stuff.
Yes,
So we
try
have
to
to go
figure
out there
stuff
and
out.
check in a few minutes.
Okay.
We're about to wrap it up right now.
Yeah.
On our way back, so from wetlands to my house, it's like a mile.
Yeah.
We got to ride on the street though for about a mile.
Mhm.
Not a very busy street. It's kind of a back road. It
Yeah.
connects a few like suburbs, right?
There's multiple lanes.
Not a big issue.
Yeah.
We're riding on the far right. There's 2 full lanes.
Yep.
Not a car in sight.
Yep.
And this school bus comes up behind us in the right lane
And
and
lays
lays on the horn. Like
no
we're in
reason.
their way. I'm like, there are 2. It's not just 2 lanes.
Yeah. There's
It's-
another lane they could
it's
get
four,
into the left
it's
of them.
it's a 4-lane street. So there's 2 lanes going one way,
Yep.
2 lanes coming the other way. So they just have to move over,
Yep.
pass us, move back.
And we are
not a big deal.
clearly what would have been
I
the
can
bike lane.
guarantee you, if we were all 3 on bicycles,
Oh, yeah.
they would not have done
Nope.
anything.
Nope, they
No.
would've
But
got
because
over
we were
and
on a
out of the way.
skateboard, they were losing their minds because we're blocking traffic,
Yep.
and we're not. If it was busy and people like we get in the way, that's
Yeah.
fine, whatever. I get people
Yeah.
people get upset over bicycles and whatever else, and like it's still not okay. Like, but in this case, there was not a single soul around. There was us and a school bus.
Yep. And that was
I
it.
did
And
say
multiple
hello
lanes.
with my finger though. So
You did.
she
Yeah.
she
Oh, yeah,
I
you
said
gave
hi.
him the formal
Yeah, yeah.
French
I said-
greeting.
Yeah. I
said
Formal
hi.
French greeting.
So I was just like, I just irritates me because we have the same rights as bicycles here in
Yeah.
Nevada and
Yep.
here where we live,
Mhm.
and they just don't give us, like, people don't care, or they don't know, and they just think we're being a nuisance. But we're on the right side hand side of the road. If we were on bicycles, the attitude would just change, and I just don't understand that. whether it's scooters or whatever else. Like we're just getting around. What if that was our main mode of transportation? That's how we got to work every day.
Yeah, it is.
I don't get
my,
that.
That's more than half my. The only reason I use a gasoline vehicle is to get baby mama to and from work.
That's
Otherwise, I'm PEV all day.
Yeah.
What's up?
So anyways, then to top it all off, I am 0.2 miles from my house, entering my neighborhood.
Yep.
And I'm
Oh yeah, you almost got ran over.
I almost got hit by a car today. I'm turning left. I'm about to turn left in my neighborhood. There's
Maddie,
another
can you turn
car.
your headphones off
right.
real quick?
Yeah. there's a car waiting to turn left.
Yeah.
Waiting to turn left out of the neighborhood. I'm approaching. I'm gonna turn left into my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Did you have your blinker on?
Yeah.
I'm pointing.
Most of the time you are, bro.
I point, and I actually sometimes, because people are dumbasses and they don't understand what a point means.
Yes.
I physically,
You got to wave, flag.
I physically take two
Sign
fingers
language
and I
them?
almost pretend like I have a blinker on because that registers
Trying
in
to
people's
shock
heads.
and awe while you're doing it.
Yes.
So I make my left hand turn,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden she decides it's her turn now.
Yep.
Right in front of me, and I'm cranking on the brakes, and I'm yelling at her.
Dude's not even
I'm
paying
like,
attention.
what the fuck? It just. Dude, I should have. You know what I should have done? It was such a low speed. I should have just hit her car. I should have just run into her.
No, because then Maddie's gonna kill me and Jacob.
No, I wouldn't have got. I don't think I would have gotten hurt. I was really not going very fast anymore. But I don't know.
I was tow
That's the
trucking.
only thing I can't stand about skating is the cars freak me out.
I just pretty much plan. In my head, I pretend that no other vehicle on the road can see me.
Yeah, I agree, but
Just
I mean,
what
I just had the right of
But
way.
it's aggravating.
I had the
because
right of way. I'm
they
making
should.
a left. Now it's not I'm not making a left in front of someone going straight.
Yeah.
They're waiting
Yeah.
to turn onto the road I'm already on. I have the right of way.
Yeah.
So and if I stop though, someone's gonna rear end me from the back.
Yeah.
So I gotta just move
one
with
of
traffic.
The problems with PEVs is you're
They're
constantly
too small.
Yes.
Too
and
small, too fast.
You have you don't have enough stuff for everybody else to notice. You know?
And it's I'm gonna say it's partly my fault because I'm not. I mean, it's not my fault, but I could help the situation by wearing some higher vis stuff.
Nice reflective yellow vest.
Yeah.
And
The
a
sun,
nice
the
hard
sun
hat.
was out.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah.
It was
it's
daytime.
daylight.
Yeah, it was 9.
There was
9:30.
no. She wasn't in the right, and there was nothing right that she did. She was definitely in the wrong. But
But I could have helped myself.
you
a
could
bit
have helped
more.
her off. You could have just a little bit. But you know what? How about this? You didn't die.
Yeah.
We're
It's
all
like
good.
Dumbass Thursday.
I need to throw some. I need to just throw a rock through the window.
Then
Just have a
we
rock
should
ready
just
to rock.
keep a,
roll.
maybe we should just keep a 21-700 with us and each one in our back pocket. Just
I know
Actually,
people
that's a
who
bad
throw
idea.
coins.
Coins.
Ooh.
I don't want to. I don't want to
I've
damage
Oh,
ridden-
can
anyone's
you guys
shit.
do the penny?
I've
thing?
ridden with.
Can you flick a penny?
No, I
With your
can't do
fingers?
that.
I can do it.
There were some guys in my motorcycle class who rode with pennies and nickels in their pockets,
Yeah.
and they would throw them at cars who didn't, obviously weren't paying attention.
Well, we don't want to cause damage or harm.
No, I'm
just-
not trying to get into all that.
No,
but
We're going
Yes.
to lose that war because
Yeah.
all they got to do is hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're done.
yeah,
I like the good old French. Have a good day.
yeah. I think the PEV guys have the same issues the motorcycle guys have.
Yeah.
Too small. We're even smaller. Now we're not usually going as fast as the motorcycles, but we're just small. And then just people aren't. But also the bicycle. Like I don't understand because like me on a skateboard feels like the same as being on a bicycle.
Yeah.
But I guess for whatever reason we just are not seen as well, and I don't understand that. Maybe the bike's just a little bit bigger.
I think it's in
I don't
our.
get that though.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, cities did not, build themselves around
The possibility of a
smaller
PEV being invented.
Yeah.
So,
God, if we could
our-
redo that.
Where
like
you're
our
just-
city is
How do we?
you
redo
could
that?
get across town, right? It's
Yeah.
only 25 miles to go from the
side of
southeast corner to
town,
the
yeah.
northwest corner. The problem is there's no direct line. I mean,
No,
we
you're-
have
Except for the highway.
the city's
Yeah,
a giant
zigzagging.
grid, so connecting all of the streets, you just make this giant
Yeah.
Tetris.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and there's quite a few streets that don't run all the way through from one side to
No,
the other.
the airport right in the middle messes
Yeah.
up a lot of
Ah.
possibilities for a couple of
So it
streets.
does make it tricky, being able, if we had designated trails, even being on the street with designated lanes for us is still not, is ultimately not the answer, right?
Yeah.
We
No.
should not be on the streets.
Yeah.
That's very clear.
That's
Yeah.
Cars are going to win that. The trucks, there's vehicles that are much bigger than us. So realistically, we should not even be on the streets. But
That's
then-
our only option sometimes.
right,
Yeah,
to then go in
sometimes
and build, all the infrastructure we need, whether
It
it's
just doesn't make
skateboards,
sense.
PVs, scooters, things that only go 25 miles an hour, whatever.
Yeah.
The money involved there is
Because we
there's
should
no
not
tax money. Either.
Yeah.
They're
We should
gonna
not
get
be on the sidewalks either. So
No, well, it's like a love-hate relationship. Sometimes I'd rather be on the sidewalk.
I agree.
Sometimes I would rather be in the street, but to be honest, I feel safer on the sidewalk. I'd rather be dodging a pedestrian than dodging a car.
yeah, well, yeah. I just feel bad being on the sidewalk.
No, I don't.
No,
Not
you don't
one
think
bit.
so?
I feel safer. That's what matters.
I mean,
at
I
the
feel
end of the
safer
day.
too. I just feel like I'm not.
Safer.
I feel like I'm supposed to be in the bike lane
I
because we are supposed. I mean, I think. I think
yes.
legally where we classify, we are supposed to be in the
Yeah,
bike lane
Yeah, and then
when there is one.
when there is one. Because there's a lot of areas around here there are no bike lanes.
Yeah.
The sign share the road throws people off too. They
Uh-huh.
don't quite know what that means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and the people don't want to share the road with me. You know,
But
but like
the
with
bus.
So they're all
yeah.
just jerks, man.
Yeah,
Nobody
and the
wants to
problem with the
share.
pedestrians is when you get cooking, you got to slow down because the pedestrian doesn't hear me.
No,
and
they don't hear
especially
you.
so then when people are walking down the street, they have headphones in, so I got to scream at somebody, I'm behind you, and then I got
That's when I need the penny.
yeah, to throw
I
the
don't
pin in
mind
the
throwing
back
a
of their
raw
head.
penny at somebody in the back. But I don't want to mess up their
Get them to
car.
pay attention.
We need to get we need our remotes to have a whistle built in, so you can go immediately
Yeah.
blow a whistle when they're
Or like we could do silly string out of it, you know, like,
Like a
spider
Spider-Man
web.
type deal.
yeah. yeah.
Oh,
God.
sorry. I tried to tell you that I was
to let
back there
you
and you
know.
wouldn't pay attention to me, so you got silly stringed.
Yeah,
It is what it
it's all
is.
good. All right, guys. I appreciate you sitting down. We got to wrap this
We
bad
got-
Billy up. If you
yeah.
made it to the end,
Yes, thank you for staying.
I
This
appreciate you.
because we may or may
Um,
not have rambled a little bit.
yeah, no, we got off topic, but there's a handful. Even if there's only like 10 of us
Yeah,
hanging out,
yeah,
watching the show
yeah.
past our normal
Right?
time,
You're right.
we
Thank
did.
you.
We talked to somebody.
Thank
If you want to contribute to the show, any
Yeah.
of the segments we did today, please submit, whether it's a badass build or if you have a fact or fiction.
Yep.
We have a form on our
Or-
website.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
How is your PEV travel scene there?
Yeah.
Do you guys have bike lanes? How are your sidewalks? Are they friendly? Do the cops mess with you guys? Are pedestrians dicks?
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
James wants to know.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching,
Toodles.
and we'll see you in the next one.
A-Town down.